You're watching the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9.
A warm and windy Christmas, but the temps are about to drop. We're getting you ready for the weekend weather.
Fox 25 Chief Meteorologist Jeff George has tonight's first forecast. Jeff.
Merry Christmas, everyone. The past couple of nights I've been asking you to come back for updates on this winter storm, and it has already changed at least a little bit as we head into the weekend. Number one, winter storm warning is now posted for western Oklahoma. This is where most of the snow is going to fall by Monday with near blizzard-like conditions. For the rest of us, the winter storm watch continues, and all of this starts tomorrow night and goes all the way through Monday. Now, tonight through tomorrow morning, some spotty light rain, maybe a couple thunderstorms here in parts of central Oklahoma. Most of the rainy and stormy weather south central, heading into the eastern parts of the state, and a couple thunderstorms later on tonight could be isolated, strong, or severe. We're not worried too much about that, but I would be concerned about some flooding rains possible as we head into tomorrow afternoon and evening. So widespread showers, light to moderate, heavy at times, especially south central, heading into eastern Oklahoma. 4 to 8 inches where we have a flash flood watch in effect. Isolated severe weather is possible once again southeast. 2 to 4 inches of rain. Oklahoma City, lesser amounts as we go west and north, but I do think the wintry weather stays in the panhandles for tomorrow. Sunday morning, heading into the afternoon, that winter weather starts to come out. Western Oklahoma, I think we're going to have a mix of mainly sleet and freezing rain. It's going to be windy and slick, and we're going to have some travel issues. Slight bit of good news for Sunday. Oklahoma City heading south and north, mainly rain until we get to Sunday evening, maybe late Sunday evening, and that sleet and freezing rain starts to make it in Oklahoma City and I-35. It'll be windy and slick, and here comes the snow from the west near blizzard-like conditions as we head into Monday because widespread snow, light to moderate, sometimes heavy, and with these winds going at about 20 to 40 miles an hour, near blizzard-like conditions are possible. So you take some sleet and ice and dump a bunch of snow on top of that. You betcha some travel headaches are possible, and this is what we're thinking right now. Oklahoma City heading eastward, about 1 to 3 inches of snow. So most of the metro about 1 to 3, but as you head west, 3 to 6, and then eventually the farther west you go, the more snow you're going to get, 6 to 8 inches, or maybe even some more than that. So western Oklahoma on Sunday, sleet and ice are likely. The sleet and ice in the wintry mix does not make it into central Oklahoma and Oklahoma City until after sunset, with temperatures above freezing. On Monday, 6 to 8 inches of snow, up to 6 inches here in central Oklahoma. Expect travel issues and power outages likely. Please be ready. Your full forecast real soon.
Jeff, thank you. Well, Fox 25 Chief Meteorologist Jeff George will have your weekend forecast coming up later in the newscast. And as always, we have weather updates over at OKCFox.com.
We also have them on our Facebook page, facebook.com/FoxOKC, and you can follow our entire weather team at OKC Fox Weather.
Well, a lawsuit filed against former Oklahoma City police officer Daniel Holtzclaw is being allowed to move forward. Right now, 2 lawsuits filed by Holtzclaw's victims are pending. One is against Holtzclaw himself. The other is against the city. A judge ruled the city lawsuit can move forward, but the one against Holtzclaw is on hold until his sentencing next year. Holtzclaw still has until April to appeal his verdict.
State leaders were hoping Santa might bring hundreds of millions of dollars to shore up that sinking budget, but instead they're getting ideas of what programs can be cut out of the state budget.
And one of those proposals includes cutting a program costing the state millions aimed at bringing down the divorce rate. Fox 25's Keaton Fox is in the studio with those details.
Hey, Jennifer, Mike, good evening to both of you. Yeah, that program was all aimed, it started back in the 90s, trying to get Oklahoma's divorce rate down because it was, at the time, one of the highest across the country. Here are Oklahoma's divorce rates starting from 1990 all the way to 2010. The good news in all of this, we went from 8% down to 5.2%. This program, called the Oklahoma Marriage Initiative, went into effect in 1999 when the divorce rate was 5.9%, and you can see we've come down to 5.2%. So it's made a little bit of a dent, but not much. Let's talk now about what this program really has looked to do. The goal of the Oklahoma Marriage Initiative was to drop divorce rates 33% across Oklahoma. In actuality, it only dropped some 7%, so it's costing taxpayers $7 million a year, and since its inception, it's cost taxpayers $50 million a year. Now, we talked with the state senator who is proposing cutting the Oklahoma Marriage Initiative, and listen to the reason he says he wants to cut these programs.
It's good, honorable, and I'm glad that we have plenty of people in the faith-based community that do this. My thinking is, if it's found in a phone book and you can find it on your own, the government shouldn't be doing it.
Now, the Oklahoma Marriage Initiative, if it were to be cut and the program was repealed, it would only actually represent 0.7% of the total cuts needed of the $900 million in the state budget. But Loveless says that's where you're going to find the money needed to balance the budget. It's all going to come from these small programs that he says, in this case, are unnecessary. In the studio, I'm Keaton Fox, Fox 25 News.
Keaton, thank you. Well, OSBI agents are still investigating a homicide happening in Anadarko. This was the scene Thursday as Fox 25 arrived there. Now, police were sent to the home just after 1 p.m. When they arrived, 2 people were inside, 1 dead, another injured. Agents tell us that the injured person was life-flighted here to Oklahoma City. Their condition not known at this time. OSBI and the Anadarko Police Department, they don't have any suspects right now. As always, we will continue to follow this story. Any new developments will be posted on our mobile app. Well, tonight, a new tradition was born in Chickasha.
A family serving the city its favorite dish for almost 50 years threw out their menu just for one day. Fox 25's Meredith Keller was there.
Papa's Burgers is a symbol of tradition here in Chickasha, but if you take a closer look inside tonight, a complete menu makeover happening right now, all in the name of Christmas. A traditional Christmas dinner, recipes, casseroles that you would find on the Payne family table, all for free.
We wanted to give back to the community, make it where no one had to miss a Christmas dinner, where everybody eats, and that's kind of our premise. It was a good deed on a good day.
A family business for 47 years. It all started with her, Dustin's grandmother, now 94 years old.
This lady had it for sale, and so we talked to her about it, and she said she'd sell it to us, so we bought it.
The best thing you ever done?
Probably. Probably is.
The entire family eager to serve more than 700 dinners, all prepared by them, to anyone who needed just a little extra help this holiday or just wanted to stop by and reminisce.
We were celebrating our homecoming. Dad took us all to Papa's to get a hamburger. And who walked in but the redheaded stranger, Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings.
My grandparents used to bring me here when I was little, probably 2 or 3 years old.
Carl Jantz says 2015 in Chickasha wasn't the easiest year.
This is an oil field town, and the oil field's slow right now. But, you know, it's either famine or feast.
But tonight, a feast, one the Payne family hopes will become a holiday tradition.
This is the first year of many, so it'll grow. But the town has stepped up. We had donations that we weren't expecting. That was amazing. And with the help from the community, it all worked out pretty well.
With my mother in the hospital, this was like the perfect place for me to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ and, you know, be around good people.
Now, Dustin says this again is the first year that they're doing this, but the Payne family wants to make this a tradition, hoping to double the number of mouths they feed next Christmas. In Chickasha, Meredith Keller, Fox 25 News.
Papa's also served free holiday meals at their second location. This is a steakhouse also in Chickasha. The family says any food that was left over tonight will go to local charities.
Well, this morning, thousands of meals were prepared for the annual Red Andrews Christmas dinner. People from all over the metro came together, donating their time and talent to lend a helping hand. The annual dinner served up food and toys for those in need. As Fox 25, Tom George gives us a look at what made this Christmas so special.
Well, this Christmas, a lot of us are getting ready for some big family dinners, but it's nothing compared to the Red Andrews dinner here downtown, where they spent the last 3 months getting ready to serve 7,000 people. Cup by cup.
We haven't kept track, but we've made a lot.
Plate by plate, hundreds of volunteers spreading holiday cheer.
I love giving back to the community, and I like to see people really happy on Christmas.
Thousands of Christmas feasts for those in need.
It's good because they don't have nothing to eat, and they are living in the streets.
And a chance for some toys.
A football and my Legos, basketball.
And a meeting with the big guy himself.
You couldn't ask for more. On a Christmas day, this is the epitome of Christmas.
an Oklahoma City tradition coming together after months of planning.
You can see that all of the work that we did and all of the contributions by the volunteers and the community just helps it all come together.
All worth it for one big Christmas.
I really like smiles, and it's just making people really happy.
Tom George, Fox 25 News.
In his annual Christmas Day message, Pope Francis lashed out at the recent terror attacks around the world and prayed for peace in a series of global hotspots from the Holy Land to Syria and Libya.
He spoke to thousands of the faithful from the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica. Unfortunately, that peace didn't last long as the message was overshadowed by even more clashes between Israelis and Palestinians. Today, Fox's John Huddy reports on the latest from Jerusalem.
Christmas Mass at the Church of the Nativity, a serene scene with prayers for peace. But the peace didn't last long today. Palestinian protesters once again clashed with Israeli border police in Bethlehem, not far from Manger Square and the birthplace of Jesus. It's been a violent week with attacks on Israelis in the West Bank and Jerusalem. The Christmas Eve celebration in Bethlehem was scaled back this year because of the unrest, and although thousands still packed Manger Square, there was an underlying tension. Today, as part of his Christmas message, Pope Francis appealed for peace in the Holy Land.
May Israelis and Palestinians resume direct dialogue and reach an agreement which will enable the two peoples to live together in harmony.
The repercussions of the violence and extremist acts worldwide were also part of Pope Francis's message in St. Peter's Square, where security was tight because of terrorism concerns. The Pope addressed a range of issues, from poverty and the migrant crisis to UN resolutions for peace in Syria and Libya. But he emphasized the need for peace in a war-torn world, condemning what he called the atrocities in Iraq, Libya, Yemen, and Africa, and the brutal acts of terrorism, including the attacks in Paris, saying, quote, "Only God's mercy can free humanity from the many forms of evil, at times monstrous evil, which selfishness spawns in our midst." And the grave repercussions that Pope Francis talked about continue here. Israeli police shot and killed a Palestinian woman in the West Bank who they say tried to ram her car into a group of Israeli police officers. In Jerusalem, John Huddy, Fox News.
Coming up, getting ready for the front lines, an inside look at the Metro firefighters training camp.
Plus, a rare sight tonight. How many years before we'll see another full moon on Christmas?
The countdown to the Orange Bowl continues as the team gets ready, what the fans are a little upset about.
Plus, some big rulings are expected in 2016 by the U.S. Supreme Court. Will these rulings affect the presidential race?
And up front at 9:30.
I'm Kristen Fisher. From snow to flooding and record temperatures, we're tracking some weather extremes this Christmas Day coming up.
Repair services for the Fox 25 News provided by Salon W at 7304 Northwestern.
The big Metcalf Gun Show is back this weekend at the OKC Fairgrounds. See bargain prices on guns, knives, ammo, military collectibles, and more. Call your hunting buddies and make plans to be at the big gun show at the OKC Fairgrounds this weekend. Open Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4.
Obviously can't fit this under a tree. How are you going to hide this?
We asked real people what they thought of Chevy's holiday deals.
That's awesome. I like it.
I love it.
That's a really good deal.
Holiday gift, Christmas gift. This would be the best any gift, bar none.
Can I have the keys?
Wrap up the deals and wrap up the year in a new Chevy.
Right now, qualified lessees can get this Chevy Equinox LT for around $199 per month and get $500 lease cash on select Equinox vehicles in stock. See your Oklahoma Chevy team dealer.
Okay, we're here. There's Dad, Mom, the twins, Aunt Alice.
You didn't tell me Aunt Alice was coming.
Of course.
Don't forget Grandpa. Can the test drive be over now? Maybe just head back to the dealership.
Don't you want to meet my family?
Yep, totally.
It's practically yours, but we still need your signature. The Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event. Zero do-it signing, zero down, zero deposit, and zero first month's payment on a new Jetta and other select models.
The big Metcalf Gun Show is back this weekend at the OKC Fairgrounds. See bargain prices on guns, knives, ammo, military collectibles, and more. Call your hunting buddies and make plans to be at the big gun show at the OKC Fairgrounds this weekend. Open Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4.
You're watching the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9 with Mike Brooks, Wendy Suarez, Chief Meteorologist Jeff George, and sports with Myron Patton. This is the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9.
We're back with Christmas on ice. With warm winter days come the perfect excuse to get out and glide. The Devon Ice Rink packed with families eager to get outside and enjoy our last bit of warm weather. Don't worry, you haven't missed your chance. The rink is still open right now and 7 days a week. The last day of skating will be January 31st.
Well, right now, new recruits for the Oklahoma City Fire Departments are going through a rigorous 4-month training program, getting ready to fight real-life fires. And we got a first-hand look at the process that some say is the most intense 4 months of their lives.
These 31 people now are all best friends. They came in here not knowing anybody.
Before the smoke, flames, and sirens, these 31 recruits learn the ropes, a process some describe like boot camp.
The physical nature of this job is tremendous, so we place a lot of importance on their physical capabilities. Everybody is challenged. I know it's almost unanimous when people graduate here. They say it was one of the hardest things they've ever done.
For 4 months, they go through the ins and outs of fighting fires, getting multiple certifications, and are in the drill field almost daily.
Of that 4 months, there are a few days where we're inside and it's academic only, but the majority of the time we spend out here practicing what we learned in there.
Practicing forcible entry, dragging hose lines upstairs, simulating apartment fires, catching hydrants, and vertical ventilation, which is when crews cut a hole in the structure to let toxic gases and smoke out. And after these rigorous 4 months, they're ready for the real deal.
They're fully ready to go. They go to work day one. They're on a rig. At that time, they'll go through 3 rotations to finish up a year.
And this training course is all part of a 1-year hiring process. They become certified in fire, hazmat, and medical. And when they are done with training, they go right to a station.
Around Oklahoma, the childhood home of former President Bill Clinton goes up in flames. Arson may be the cause of the fire. This is according to officials in Hope, Arkansas. It happened early this morning. Officials say that there is extensive damage on the inside and outside of the home.
Here it looks like that it was started intentionally at this time, so it will be investigated and handled as a potential arson fire. We were able to move some stuff around a little bit and put some tarps down and stuff like that, so we protected everything the best that we could.
Officials say there is also some smoke and water damage. That home is designated as a National Historic Site operated by the National Park Service.
The budget bill passed by Congress last week includes compensation for Americans taken hostage in Iran in 1979. It authorizes each of the 53 hostages to receive $10,000 for each day they were held captive. Now, spouses and children would receive a one-time payment of $600,000. 38 of the former hostages are still alive. Overall, some 150 people associated with the embassy hostage ordeal will be compensated. The former hostages were held captive for 444 days, 36 years ago. Now, they were prevented from suing Iran as a condition of their 1981 release. Well, NASA says the last full moon of the year will appear tonight. Its peak should occur just after 6 a.m. Eastern Time. The rare sight is called a full cold moon because it shows up during the beginning of winter. A full moon has not appeared on Christmas Day since 1977. And unfortunately, it will not happen again for another 19 years. So while you're up gazing at the Christmas moon, take note that NASA spacecraft is currently orbiting Earth's moon. The orbiter has been investigating the lunar surface since 2009.
Speaking of, now would be a great time to download the Fox 25 Stormwatch weather app. You can get access to live radar and weather alerts right there on your phone or tablet.
It's easy and free. Just search KOKH Weather in the Google Play or iTunes Store.
And coming up, the road to the Orange Bowl.
As the team prepares to leave for Miami, why the fans are a little less than excited.
On the next Two Broke Girls.
Oh, no! The pot is in the pot!
Next, Two Broke Girls.
Tonight at 10:30.
Dodge Ram is busting out the holiday red tags during the year-end blockbuster sales event. That means huge year-end discounts on top of our everyday low prices all month long. Right now, get 10 grand off the MSRP on all new 2015 Ram Bighorn Crew Cabs in stock. Or get 4 grand off the MSRP on all remaining new 2015 Jeep Cherokees in stock. This holiday season only at Broadway Extension and Memorial Road. BobHowardCJD.com.
Obviously can't fit this under a tree. How are you going to hide this?
We asked real people what they thought of Chevy's holiday deals.
That's awesome. I like it.
I love it.
That's a really good deal. I think it's actually a great deal. I think this feels really good.
Holiday gift, Christmas gift. This would be the best any gift, bar none.
Can I have the keys?
Wrap up the deals and wrap up the year in a new Chevy. Find your holiday bonus tag and get $2,500 total cash allowance on select Chevy Cruise vehicles in stock. See your Oklahoma Chevy team dealer.
I died a 75-year-old man. Now I'm 35 and better than ever. There exists an all-powerful force in the universe. It surrounds us, gives us strength, turns fear into hope. And to those who seek to harness such power, this is what you've been looking for.
Hurry in now to get 0% APR for 75 months. Offer ends January 4th. Get 0% APR plus $8,500 in total values on 2015 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab models in stock the longest.
Oh, what fun it is!
The time is now. The place is here. We want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
It's a Nissan's holiday event for the season's best offers.
Right now, get 0% APR for up to 72 months on Altima or the 2015 Nissan Sentra. Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com.
It's your last chance to save during the final days of the Ford Holiday Sales Event.
Right now, I'm gonna take it. Right now.
Now through December 31st, we're counting down the days and you can count on a great deal. Grab hold of your new Ford, America's best-selling brand with huge holiday savings. Like Fusion and Escape with 0% financing for 60 months plus 1,000 holiday bonus cash. Hurry, the final days to save is right now at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Brought to you by your friends at ReynoldsAutos.com.
You're watching the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9 with Mike Brooks, Wendy Suarez, Chief Meteorologist Jeff George, and sports with Myron Patton. This is the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9. Tonight's Road to the Championship report driven by your Oklahoma Ford dealers.
A couple of weeks ago, when we found out that Oklahoma was play Clemson in the Orange Bowl, there was some disappointment among the fans. Not in the opponent, but the location, with many hoping to get the Cotton Bowl because Dallas is closer. But the reality is Oklahoma's had great success playing in Miami, where they've won more than their fair share of Orange Bowls. In fact, OU's last two national titles came in the Orange Bowl in 1985 and 2000. And being on the big stage, certainly nothing new for the Sooners. After all, they were in the Sugar Bowl just 2 years ago when they got after Alabama to win that game. But unlike then, next week's Orange Bowl is part of a process to win the national title.
I think the focus, the week leading up to this game will be much different than even playing in the Sugar Bowl. This is different. I think our players will react to it differently, just knowing what's at stake in this particular game. I think it's much easier to keep your players, in line, knowing what the prize is, really at the end of it.
We're just 6 days out from the game. Sooners leave Norman tomorrow and will arrive in Miami Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock. Clemson's set to arrive a little later, around 4:30. Sooners' first practice will be Sunday at 12:40. I'm headed down Monday and will be there all week with live reports.
And coming up, will the Supreme Court ruling on issues like abortions, affirmative action, and the Affordable Care Act play a role in the 2016 presidential election?